Here right now at Hard Labor Creek Quail Plantation. I kind of hesitate because I'm so used to saying Hard Labor Creek Shooting Sports, Hard Labor Creek Off-Road Park. Here today for the Brad Drake Wild Game Hunt. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Still here at Hard Labor Creek Quail Plantation here in Chipley, Florida. Again, here for the Brad Drake Wild Game Hunt for the annual occurrence of that event. And it's a gorgeous day. It's just been a little bit nippy in the morning. Right now the sun is bright and shining. Great time to sit around the fire pit, enjoy some oysters. Here right now with Ted Everett, owner of Hard Labor Creek Quail Plantation. Ted, you guys are done shooting for the day now?
No, we actually got hunts again this afternoon, and then for some of those sponsors that couldn't make it yesterday or today, we'll be doing some hunting Saturday as well as Sunday. So it's a four-day. Wow. It ends up being a 4-day event for us here.
Oh wow, yeah. Now the big night was last night.
Yes, we have a dinner, and we had probably about 85 to 100 people show up for dinner, and had a very good dinner. And then a lot of people just stayed around, sit around the bonfire, and we just had a good time.
A lot of politics talked.
A lot of politics, a lot of politics.
Brad Drake, as we pointed out, graciously stepped down so that Marty Coley could finish out her time. He didn't want to go head-to-head with her in that primary. Showed that he was a real gentleman, certainly.
That's correct.
He's now our guy. He was our guy before. He was our guy when he was with Don Brown. Mm-hmm. A friend to Northwest Florida, certainly a friend to Chipley. This is his event this year. How did he take it? How was he?
Oh, he took it very seriously, and he really did help us do a lot of things to get ready for this event. And of course, it's a fundraiser for the Washington County Chamber Foundation and the 4-H, which is an important thing. You know, the Chamber funds junior achievement and other educational things through the foundation. And of course, 4-H. You can't find a better cause than that for the 4-H, and they always need money too. So
yeah, talking to Andy about Sure Shots, you know, we've had the fortune of being out at several of those events.
Correct.
Got to speak to Holly Henson and some of the other women and guys who are part of that organization. Those kids probably would have turned out okay anyway because of who their parents were. But at the end of the day, you don't have to worry about a kid as much if he's inured in that outdoor atmosphere, in that culture. Somebody's going to walk right in front of our camera right now, but that's okay. Can't even faze him.
Didn't even faze him. Didn't even faze him.
But you guys are having a ball out here. This is how many years that you've been holding this?
This is interesting. We started. I remember the first one that actually started with Representative Peden. And that's been about 15 years ago. And had I known then that it was going to be an annual thing, it would have just blown my mind. But every year we've done this, and we've started with Peden, as I said. Then we went to Don Brown, and then Brad Drake, and then Marty Coley, and then Brad Drake. So 15 years of doing this, and it's all been fun.
Well, it's a great part of the fabric of the community.
Yes, sir, it is.
The outdoors is what we are in Washington County. You can't really put a price tag on that.
No, you can't.
there's an opportunity here for a pristine lifestyle, and you've got a nice chunk of a property, and you've been able to multitask that property. You've been able to do different things with it. Talk a little bit about the off-road
Well,
aspect.
it's when I came down here in 1988 to begin to manage the property for my family, found out very quickly that you were going to have to squeeze the land for a lot of different things. So over the years, I got into the hunting business, and that's how the hunting plantation started. And then we started doing a motorcycle race every year under FTR, which is the Florida Trail Riders. And there was a group of riders in Tallahassee, the Tallahassee Trail Riders, and I befriended some of those members and then brought them over here just to see if there was an opportunity to do anything over here. And lo and behold, 2 years after that meeting, we did our first annual Hard Labor Creek Hare Scramble, and that again has been going on for 14 years. So by watching that and seeing that these guys needed a place to ride, I partnered with one of the gentlemen in the club, Dexter Leadbeater, and we built an off-road park. We have about 40 miles of trails for four-wheelers, quads, dirt bikes, and we're just finishing our second motocross track over there.
Well, I tell you, it's a perfect scenario, making the best of the property. You've got the areas which are relatively little traveled. You're using those for the quail plantation.
Yes, sir.
Gary Clark has got his shooting sports set
correct.
up. We've had the opportunity to be over there. You got the off-road segment. And then you've got the area that we're in right now, which is sort of a multi-purpose. You're able to use it for all of your parties and that sort of thing.
We do a lot of the different events down here, from things such as this. We've actually rented the place out for weddings, anniversaries, birthdays, class reunions. It's great because the people that come here and they look at that big oak tree with that deck around it, and then we have lights in all the trees, that's lit up at night, and it makes for a wonderful place for people to recreate and enjoy themselves.
Well, thanks for taking the time to speak with us
Paul.
today. Here right now at Hard Labor Creek Quail Plantation, I kind of hesitate because I'm so used to saying Hard Labor Creek Shooting Sports, Hard Labor Creek Off-Road Park. Here today for the Brad Drake Wild Game Hunt. I thought this was the last day. I thought they were wrapping it up. They're actually going to go all the rest of the weekend.
Yeah.
So if you get the opportunity, check out Hard Labor Creek in any of its permutations. Certainly something for everybody, and I'm sure that it'll just be one more opportunity to say, thank God we're right here in Washington County. We'll be right back.
Thank you, Paul. Yes, sir.